Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Burrell High School for this WPIAL matchup in the Allegheny 7 Conference, Class 3A between the Freeport Yellowjackets and the Burrell Buccaneers. I'm Adam Morganti, and joining me is my partner, Mason Flanagan, as you are watching WPIAL football on the High Top Sports Network. It's homecoming here at Burrell High School. Coming into this matchup, Freeport is 4-3 overall with the 2-0 conference record. Burrell is 1-2 overall with the 1-2 in conference, 1-6 overall. The big news though for Freeport, it is simple. If they win this game tonight, they will clinch a playoff spot, which will be their 31st playoff spot, or 31st time in the playoffs in school history, and it'll be the 10th time they'd be in the playoffs under head coach John Gaylott. So, I guess, Mason, what are some things you're looking forward to in this matchup?
I guess you basically said it right there. You took the words right out of my mouth. It's Freeport. They're going to win this one, punch their ticket, get into the postseason, get in there now, so that way maybe you can rest a starter or two as we continue down the home stretch of the season. But for Burrell, this is a must-win. Now, don't be sleeping on them. They'll come in on a high note after a 28-24 win over Deer Lakes last week. And they got their explosive running back down the field. We've watched him a little bit in pregame warm-ups. He's a big unit. We'll have to watch and see if the defense can stop him for Freeport.
Yeah, that running back you mentioned for Burrell is Caden DiCaprio. Coming into this game, he has 120 carries for 706 yards and 9 touchdowns. He's pretty much accounted for almost all their touchdowns, as in the win against Deer Lakes last week. He had 41 carries for 149 yards for 3 touchdowns. The other touchdown was a 1-yard run by Devin Beatty. So, yeah, Burrell, they knocked off a Deer Lakes team that came into that game 3-0 in conference play, and Burrell was winless. So that was a big win for Burrell. Right now at the Allegheny 7 conference standings, top 4 teams make the playoffs. North Catholic is 4-0. Freeport behind them at 2-0, as Freeport will play North Catholic next week. Deer Lakes 3-1. Deer Lakes and North Catholic play tonight, and Burrell's in that 4th spot at 1-2. To round out the standings, East Allegheny's 1-3. Valley's 1-3, and in last place is Derry at 0-2. Now let's talk about Freeport, Mason. Their defense has just been amazing, especially these last 2 weeks. They've forced 10 turnovers in 2 weeks, and I think a lot of that too, Masons, with some good non-conference competition they've faced so far this year.
Yes, even going back to the Sarah Catholic game, just looking at the past 3 games that Freeport has played, they've given up 4 scores, 4 touchdowns. They gave up 14 against Sarah Catholic. They gave up 6 points against the Valley, and they only give up 7 against East Allegheny. The defense blocking it down, getting things done, and just rolling along through the conference. We've talked about it all season, Adam. Freeport, they've got a lot to play for. They're a very highly motivated team. The offensive numbers are there to show for it. You got Derek King back from his battle with cancer last year. You got the new uniforms. You got everything to hype, everything up. Ben Lane has been performing off the charts. And you can't really ask for anything better for Freeport. They're just getting things done as they roll through the conference schedule.
Yeah, and for that Freeport defense last week, they forced 5 turnovers. One of those was an interception return for a touchdown by Cole Charlton. Garrett King also had a interception for Freeport. Andrew Sullivan had an interception on the second play of the game, for the second defensive play. And he also had a fumble recovery. Zach Clark also had a fumble recovery for Freeport last week. They were just very dominant defensively. I guess who are some players that you're looking forward to in this matchup, Mason?
Well, it's the first time I'll be able to see Ben Lane back at quarterback in person. He's 27 for 50. He leads the Yellowjackets now in passing yards, so that's something I'm interested to see. I haven't got to see it in person. Back the last time I got to go to a Freeport game, it was still Jared King as the quarterback, but added, as we talked about before going on air, we've been seeing Ben Lane in at the quarterback spot more often. Now, Derek King, another great athlete for the Yellowjackets, he's a wide receiver. Of course, Bentley, what can he do on the rushing attack? He's really a dual threat, and he's a very scary dual threat.
Yeah, Ben Lane last week, he didn't have the best day passing. He went 12 of 22 for 59 yards and 3 interceptions, but he did have a touchdown on the ground. He was a little dinged up. He came out a little bit at quarterback as Garrett King had to be quarterback for a little bit. He was in and out, but he's able to finish the game, and sounds like Ben Lane will be good enough, and as Coach Gale told me that Ben Lane will be the starting quarterback tonight. Now for the series, these two Alkiski rivals, Freeport has gotten the better of Burrell as Freeport won 8 of the last 10 meetings, as Freeport won last year at Freeport 38-18. But the last time Burrell beat Freeport was in 2019, right here, back when it was still grass field. This is only the second year of turf here at Burrell Buccaneers Stadium, but it was a thrilling game between Freeport and Burrell in 2019. Burrell beat Freeport in overtime on a 2-point conversion, so Freeport, they went ahead in overtime. Burrell, they scored, and Burrell was like Coach Sean Lyota, I don't want the tie and go for the win. So that's exactly what he did, and it paid off. But Freeport leads the overall series 24-15. So that will do it for our pregame show. As, once again, thank you for watching WPIAL football on High Top Sports Network. And if you feel so generous, click the donate button below to donate to our cause. And High Top Sports Network is excited to broadcast Freeport Athletics this fall. If you or someone you know is a local business owner interested in sponsoring High Top Sports Network's coverage of Freeport Athletics now or in the future, please contact us via staff at hightopsportsnetwork.com or by phone at 724-824-3554. You can also find us at www.hightopsportsnetwork.com or on Facebook at High Top Sports or on Twitter at hightop_sports. You see on our school graphic, we have Sprinkles up there, the school board sponsor for Freeport. Sprinkles Neighborhood Market, located at 270 West Water Street in Saxonburg, has been making quality meat a family tradition since 1999. Sprinkles takes pride in delivering the best prices around while providing the best overall value for the customers by offering the widest range of items, the highest quality and freshness, the most organized and cleanest shopping environment, and the friendliest associates. Make sure to visit www.sprinklesoktoberfest.com. And remember to always check out Sprinkles' Facebook page to hashtag #SaveOnMeat. Well, it's homecoming here at Burrell Buccaneer Stadium, and the homecoming ceremony won't be until halftime, so stay tuned for that. But it's Freeport, it's Burrell, these longtime Alkiski Valley rivals. Throw it out here in an Allegheny 7 conference matchup, as kickoff will be in about 12 minutes right here on the High Top Sports Network.
Douglas Insurance Services, located in Sarver next to Freeport High School, is an independent insurance agency, which means they've made available some of their best companies for your online quick quotes. Douglas Insurance Services offers personal insurance coverages to their clients in Pennsylvania, including individual annuities, boat and watercraft, auto, condo, and flood insurance. Call them today at 1-800-722-9990. Douglas Insurance Services, a proud sponsor of Freeport Athletics.
Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of High Top Sports Network and is a family-owned company that can handle all your custom embroidery, custom sign, and laser engraving needs. Located at 409 4th Street in downtown Fort City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or design on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffee cups, and more. Call Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop at 724-763-2461 today.
Shop and Save at Franklin Village is a family-owned, community-dedicated supermarket with a wide variety of quality food and friendly personnel to make your shopping experience easy. Stop by their award-winning butcher shop where you'll find the freshest cuts of USDA-inspected beef, pork, and poultry. Head to the bakery for the freshest bread and rolls, and don't forget to stop by the deli for an excellent selection of cold cuts, meats, cheeses, and prepared foods like their fantastic fried chicken. That's Shop and Save at Franklin Village.
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project at Botanic Store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, #SableMeat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-quality prepared sushi, everyday fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
We're back here at Burrell Buccaneer Stadium as you are watching WPIAL football on the High Top Sports Network. As you see, the band is on the field for Burrell, waiting for the Buccaneers to come out of the tunnel. Once again, with a win for Freeport, they are in the postseason for the 31st time in school history, which is the most in the Alley-Kiski Valley. And for Burrell, they're in that 4th spot right now, but they need one win won't cut for them. They need to play their way into the playoffs. So this is a must-win game for Burrell. So definitely both teams coming into this game tonight with a lot to play for. The last time Burrell was in the playoffs was in 2012 when they lost to Mount Pleasant 40-28. The last time Burrell won a playoff game was in 2005 against Mars 36-7. Last time Freeport was in the playoffs was last year as they lost to Elizabeth Ford 34-20. Freeport's last playoff win was back in 2015 as they defeated Washington 24-14 in the second round before losing to Aliquippa in the semifinals. But another thing, too, about this matchup, Mason, is both these teams met in the 1967-1968 WPIAL championship games, and Burrell won both games by a score of 6-0. So imagine being at that game. If you like defense, that is your type of game for sure. But once again, it's homecoming. Go ahead, Mason.
Oh, yeah, defense is the key for both of these teams tonight. Is Freeport, I could go down and I could spend the next 45 minutes talking about every single offensive threat that they have. And for Burrell, offensively, you've got the likes of Caden DiCaprio. The guy averages close to 6 yards a carry, and he's carried the ball 120 times this year. And so you've got to stop him. Plus, there's good chances that they might pass the ball as well. So you've got to watch there.
Yeah, absolutely, and keep it right here for the national anthem, as well as it's middle of October, so we're getting to the point where it gets dark before kickoff starts. It's really a beautiful fall night for football. A slight chance of rain right now, currently 74 degrees. Trying to play my role as meteorologist. Looks like we should be good with rain. 15% chance from 7 until 10 o'clock. 15% chance of rain.
Yeah, and it seems like the likes of this next, I don't want to say it's a real big storm, but the main chance of rain will be coming in closer to 10, 11 o'clock and after midnight. So when we're all in bed, we'll let it rain, you know. Yeah, we wait till we're fast asleep so that way we're not out here having a football game in the middle of the game.
Yeah, in the Freeport, or not Freeport, in the Deer Lakes Bowl game last week, they were in a lightning delay, actually, but Freeport,
don't have any of that.
No, we don't. Freeport, they did play through a torrential downpour in the fourth quarter, but they were able to play through it. As I was told after the game, there was some lightning that was spotted. But again, not too bad for the rain. We should fortunately be able to hold it off tonight, though.
Oh, yes, let's just talk this season. We've gotten so lucky with the weather so far, and especially coming down the back stretch of the season, you don't want to play in the rain because then you have to think, well, you get sick if you play a whole game in the rain. You're standing out on the side of a football field for 2.5, 3 hours for a game, and then it's not super warm out either. It'll be enough. But when that rain hits you, you're gonna get a little chilly, you know.
Yeah, and it also helps with the rain that, again, Burrell's always had a grass field, but this is the second year of the turf field as it was installed last year. So here come the Freeport Yellowjackets. Once again, coming to this game 4-3 overall, 2-0 conference play. Burrell is 1-2 in conference play, 1-6 overall. Freeport's led by John Gaylott. In his 14th season as Freeport coach, he has a 78-54 record, looking for his 10th playoff appearance as head coach of the Yellowjackets if Freeport gets the win tonight. As we see Burrell now down at the other end zone, as they're rocking their camo uniforms tonight, and those uniforms were brought to you by Pennsylvania Army National Guard. And here come the Burrell Buccaneers. They're led by head coach Sean Ryota in his 4th season. He has a record of 12-23 as the Burrell head coach.
A lot of different themes tonight. You've got a pink out for the student section, homecoming, then a form of military appreciation night with the camo uniforms. You got to talk about those. Those things are just sick to look at. I mean, talk about the camo. You got the black number, the black letters on there.
Not fun, though, to try to identify numbers for tacklers and who has the ball, but we're going to try our best as Freeport breaks through their paper. They're in there visiting white jerseys with the navy blue numbers, gold pants, white helmet, ball along with those camo. Jerseys are in their white pants with the Burrell baby blue trim on the pants and the navy blue helmet. So Burrell, their primary colors, baby or light blue, but they also have the navy helmets as well.
Definitely an exciting matchup down here in the middle of Burrell tonight. Excited to get it underway here just a few moments after the national anthem plays. Have to see if Freeport can stay hot. Both teams coming in, as we mentioned, on a high note.
Welcome to Buccaneer Stadium.
Burrell got their first win against Clear Lakes last week. The Pike in 28-24.
Conference matchup.
All you need is a little bit of motivation that can push you all the way to the playoffs.
Absolutely. Now we will pause for the national anthem and the alma mater.
Burrell High School marching band, alma mater, and the national anthem.
Yeah, good job by Burrell marching in as we are ready to introduce the captains for both Burrell and Freeport. We wait for captains to go to midfield. The captains for Burrell tonight are Cam Marmo, Caden DiCaprio, Gavin Thompson, and Ryan Neville. Looking across the way for Freeport, we'll give those captains to you when they get on our screen.
Yeah, the captain is headed to
For Freeport, it's Garrett King, Andrew Sullivan, Bear Freeman, and Logan Jędrzejewski.
77 Ryan Mendel and number 78 Gavin Thompson.
Your officials for tonight's game,
Kevin King, number 11 Andrew Sullivan.
once I can find where I wrote them down, I'll have the officials' names for you.
Bear Freeman.
Mitch Bashusin's our referee. Umpire is Brandon Ames. Linesman is Mario Fagioli. The line judge is Joe Bonafed. And the side judge is Tim Edwards. Your officials this evening.
The barrel will go from right to left. Freeport from left to right on your screen, as we just saw the coin toss.
So we are just underway here in Allegheny 7 Class 3A conference action, just about to get started here. Once again, Freeport, simple. They win, and they're in the playoffs for the 31st time in school history, as Burrell will receive the opening kickoff.
Beautiful seasonally warm night
Your west end of the
down here in the Lower Bowl.
scoreboard, and it is operated by the Burrell Rhythm Club. Okay, your patronage is appreciated.
Back deep for Burrell is Caden DiCaprio. And looks like the other one, again, it might be a little hard to read these numbers, is Antonio Cook for Burrell. Vinnie Clark will kick off for Burrell.
And Capricorn.
We are just underway here
7 o'clock.
from Burrell High School. These are up in the boot. We're underway here. Conference action as taken by DiCaprio inside the 5. He goes up the middle. Now he's able to plunge forward to about the 24-yard line for Burrell. Brady Panga made the tackle for Freeport. 1st and 10 Burrell at their own 24-yard line.
Here we'll see the big name on Burrell's offense. You're going to hear his name all night. Kid DiCaprio on the season, 120 rushes, 706 yards, just about 6 yards per carry and 9 touchdowns. He's the biggest offensive force on this Burrell offense.
Chase Fenner, the quarterback, the 6'1 junior for Burrell. So go under center. Turn the give is to the first man up the middle. Looks like making that carry was Brothers for Burrell. Tristan Brothers, give up 5 yards. Bring up a 2nd down and 5 for Burrell. Second down and 5, ball at Burrell's 30-yard line. Fenner, the quarterback, gives it to DiCaprio this time, and he's going to get, call about 2 yards on the play for Burrell. Colton Alderman made the stop for Freeport. Will bring up a 3rd down and 3 for the Buccaneers.
Very manageable 3rd down here, but you got to get your most explosive run. You don't want to go 3 and out in your first drive, especially in front of a home crowd on homecoming.
Yeah, Freeport, they only gave up, I believe it was 2 first downs in the first half last week against East Allegheny, and one of those first downs from penalties. So Freeport was very good on 3rd downs in the first half last week. Fenner now turns, gives to DiCaprio, and he's not going to get that first down. Brought down at the 30-yard line by multiple Freeport Yellowjackets. Ben Lane, Andrew Sullivan, Colton Alderman, Logan Jędrzejewski in on that play.
Loss of 2.
Loss of 2 as Burrell goes 3 and out for their first drive of the game. 10:04 left here in the opening quarter. Ben Lane and Vinnie Clark back deep for Freeport. Back to punt is for Burrell is Ethan Crowshaw, standing at his own 19. Clark and Lane at about their own 40. And looks like Freeport got a hand on that, but still bounces into Freeport territory. Clark gets that on the hop. He had some room, gets inside the 30-yard line, still on his feet, inside the 25, and will get marked out of bounds. Looks like we do have a flag on the play at the Burrell 40-yard line. Again, referee for this evening is Mitch Bashushin. Trying to see who blocked it on the play. Looked like it was maybe Jendrzejewski who was holding against Freeport. Looked like it was Jendrzejewski, as he does have a blocked punt return for a touchdown this year against Knock. But regardless of the penalty, Freeport in excellent field position.
Yeah, they're going to give up over 10 yards on that penalty, though.
Officials still trying to decide where to spot the ball, as they will move it up.
If that was holding against Freeport, why would they move the ball up?
Interesting questions. Flag was at the 40-yard line, but Freeport will take over at the 30-yard line. So short field. Ben Lane, the quarterback for Freeport, the 5'11 junior. Shane Jack in the backfield, as now referees are again conclaving to decide where this ball will be spotted. 9:33 left here in the opening quarter. Ball went 3 and out on its first possession, as Ben Lane is 27 of 50 for 291 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the year. He had 3 interceptions thrown last week against East Allegheny. He's also Freeport's leading rusher with 59 carries for 292 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. Now we're going to move it up to the 25. And that's where about Vinnie Clark was out of bounds, as head coach for Burrell, Sean Lyota, is not happy, which I don't blame him, with the flag at the 40-yard line. And that's pretty much where Clark was forced out of bounds. But Freeport will take over at the Burrell 25-yard line. Stevenson, the motion man. Lane gives to Jack. He makes a good move as he cuts inside to about the 21-yard line. Gain of 4 yards. Antonio Cook made the stop for Burrell, 2nd down and 6. Cook, the 5'9 junior. 2nd and 6 from the 21-yard line of Burrell, as Freeport goes spread on the formation. Lane now throws a quick pass out to Stevenson. He has the first down, much more, breaks a tackle. He tight ropes down the sideline, but he will be down, looks like at about the 6-yard line. But Freeport, 2 plays inside the red zone, make it 1st down and goal from the 6-yard line on that little bubble screen pass to Brady Stevenson. With Jack, the runner, beside Lane. Stevenson, the motion man. Lane, he will keep it himself. He tries to get around the corner, and he's able to glide his way into the end zone for a Freeport Yellowjacket touchdown. Ben Lane takes it in from 6 yards to give Freeport a 6-0 lead with 8:43 left here in the first quarter.
3 plays, not a lot of time eating off the clock, less than a minute. Freeport exploding early.
So Freeport just had to go 3 plays, 25 yards on that drive. Vinnie Clark on to attempt the PAT with Zach Clark, the holder. The kick is up, and that kick is through. So Clark's able to tack on the extra point to make it 7-0 Freeport with 8:43 left here in the first quarter. So yeah, great opening drive there by Freeport, and on that punt, there was a flag at the Bull 40-yard line, but the officials still marked at the Bull 25-yard line. So I don't know if that penalty was negated or not. As back to receive for Burrell is DiCaprio and Beatty. They'll be at about their own 5-yard line. Clark will do the kicking duties for Freeport. Ben Lane just scored a 6-yard rushing touchdown, his 4th rushing touchdown of the year for Freeport. Here's the boot from Clark. High kick, taken above the 2-yard line by DiCaprio. He knifes his way down the middle, and he's brought down at the 19-yard line for Burrell. As Burrell went 3 and out on their first drive of the game. As they tried, go ahead, Mason.
You gotta explode and try to get your first down in the game right here. You don't want to go 3 and out again.
Yeah, as Freeport's defense has been very stingy, especially over the last 2 weeks, giving up 1 touchdown in the last 2 weeks. To give is to DiCaprio. He's going to be met by a wall of Freeport defenders. And we'll call it about the 20.5-yard line he's at. So we'll give him a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9 from the 20-yard line. As Burrell, when Coach Sean Lyota first took over the Bucs, they were a spread offense with their quarterback Alex Alridge, but he graduated, so now they're going to this power offense that Burrell usually runs. And now this Fenner back to throw. He's sacked on the play. Colton Alderman brings him down rudely for Freeport for a big loss. Bring up 3rd down and long. Colton Alderman, he had a few sacks last week for Freeport. As I lost the 8 of the play, ball back at the 12-yard line. Bring up a 3rd down and 17. As Freeport, that's another thing they had on defense, is they got relentless pressure on East Allegheny, and Fenner had no chance, no time to throw on that play. As Fenner, he'll just give it up the middle to DiCaprio. Ben Lane made the tackle, but that's going to be nowhere near the 1st down as he got about to the original line of scrimmage. Garrett King also in on the tackle. We'll bring up a 4th down and 9, and Burrell once again goes 3 and out. Lane and Clark back deep for Freeport at about Burrell's 45-yard line. Now they back up. Krauscher back to punt on his own 5.
We mentioned Jendrowski got a hand on the punt the last time.
As Clark, he makes the catch as he backs up and signals fair catch. As Freeport will take over at the 47-yard line on their own side of the field. Once again, last possession for Freeport, a Ben Lane 6-yard rushing touchdown on just a 3-play, 25-yard drive.
Yeah, well, it didn't even take a minute off the clock either.
It did not.
At least there's no confusing penalties on this to start off this drive.
6:32 remaining here in the opening quarter of this Allegheny 7 conference matchup. Freeport clinches a playoff spot with a win tonight. Lane, the quarterback for Freeport. A quick throw that is too high. Intended receiver Brady Stuyvesant, as Stuyvesant had a big reception on 2nd down on the screen pass to set up Freeport for first goal. I was actually Garrett King, my bad, on that.
The King is converting to a wide receiver. He's had 6 catches for 51 yards.
2nd and 10 for the Yellowjackets. Lane now gets to Jack as he gets into Burrell territory. It'll bring up a 3rd down in medium. Looks like at the 48-yard line, Gavin Thompson with the tackle for Burrell. Bring up 3rd down and 4 for Freeport.
Gives Jack 10 yards rushing on the night so far. He leads Freeport.
Lane now throws a quick pass, has complete to Stuyvesant. He has 1st down, makes a man miss, and fumbles the ball, and Burrell recovers it. Stuyvesant maybe doing a little too much there for Freeport. Antonio Cook with the fumble recovery for Burrell. Big stop by this Buccaneers defense.
But that's what they needed to get. That's what Burrell needed to get the motivation back on their side. Nice crowd in the stands for the Bucks. A lot to play for today. You've got some military appreciation, the pink out, the homecoming game.
Burrell takes over at its own 37-yard line. 2 drives, 2 3-and-outs, looking for that first down the turn. And the give up the middle, really not much going for Tristan Brothers. Cole Charlton made the tackle, no gain, 2nd down and 10 for Burrell.
Brothers 2 carries for 5 yards. He ran the ball the first time and has the longest run for the Bucks on the game, which is 5 yards.
As Burrell in the huddle, 5:07 remaining here in the opening quarter. Fenner, the quarterback under center. Now he looks to throw. And that is incomplete. Tried to throw it back to DiCaprio.
Bring up 3rd down for the Bucks.
3rd down, though, on the play for Burrell. It's still Burrell looking for that first down.
And Burrell's first drive, they did have a 3rd and 5. Was not able to get anything on the run. On the last drive, they got not much luck after a huge sack loss for about 10.
Now Fenner back to throw, throws over the middle. That is complete, but it'll be short of the 1st down. It'll be 4th down. Zach Clark made the stop, trying to see who made that reception. Looked like it was Cooper Hornack. Bring up 4th down and 4 for the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers have not sent out the punt squad yet.
Yeah, ball now at the 44-yard line. They need a 48 for a 1st down. They will go for it here. Early in this game with 4:21 remaining in the 1st quarter. Looks like someone jumped too early for Burrell. It'll be a false start against Burrell. And that'll probably make Coach Lyota's decision a little easier. As Freeport, they did jump off sides a few times on 4th down. But Freeport wouldn't budge there. Burrell, that's almost a guilty party on jumping. So after Burrell forces a turnover, a Brady Simonson fumble, Freeport's defense answers with a 3-and-out. Krauscher onto punt, a high kick, not a good punt at all, and it bounces back in the Burrell territory. So Freeport will have excellent field position.
Well, Adam, didn't mean to almost cut you off there, but the punt was bad. It wasn't the greatest punt in the world, but however, it was a lot better than the hand of probably Logan Jędrzejewski again. And it almost got a piece of that ball as it went away. As for the Krauscher, you have to get that ball away before Freeport smacks it and then runs into the end zone off a fumble.
Lane, the quarterback, once again last time, Stuyvesant fumbled the ball after he made a 1st down reception. Lane now gives it off to Jack. He has a little bit of a crease up the middle, gets up past the 40-yard line. at about the 30, looks like the 37-yard line, make it 2nd down and 5. DiCaprio made the tackle for Deer Lakes. Or not Deer Lakes, Burrell. Why did I say Deer Lakes?
Deer Lakes. Maybe the green and the camo?
I don't know, maybe. It was 2nd down and 5 for Freeport at the Burrell 36. Lane gives it to Jack once again. He breaks a tackle and gets down to the 31-yard line. That'll be good enough for a Freeport Yellowjacket first down.
4th carry on the night for Jack. He has 20 yards.
3:10 remaining in the opening quarter. Freeport got its touchdown on the first drive of the game with a Ben Lane 6-yard rushing touchdown. Last drive was a Stuyvesant fumble recovered by Antonio Cook, as Freeport was going in the Burrell territory on that drive also. Lane, this time he keeps it, but the Burrell defense wasn't fooled on that one, as he gets maybe 1 yard on the play. Thompson and Brothers made the tackle for Burrell. No gain, 2nd down. Actually, we'll give him 1 yard on the play, 2nd down and 9.
7 yards running on the night for Lane now. He does have a 15-yard pass completion to Brady Stuyvesant.
Lane last week had 8 carries, 27 yards, and 1 touchdown in their victory against East Allegheny. Now Freeport goes trips. As now a little bit of an option play. Lane will pitch it to Jack. Makes a one-handed grab. That's first time much more. Cuts up the middle, and he dives at about the 10-yard line. So great play there. Great running by Jack. Picked up 20 yards on the play. Tristan Brothers makes a tackle, and looks like it'll be a goal-to-go situation for Freeport.
It's a beautiful, just making something out of nothing there. Pitching it into the flat. As Lane was scrambling, didn't have really anywhere to go.
Yeah, 1st and goal for Freeport at the 10-yard line. Lane in the gun. And they give it to Zach Clark this time in the backfield. Picks up about 3 yards on a play down to the 7-yard line. Make it 2nd and goal for Freeport. .127 remaining here in the opening quarter. Freeport looking to add on to its touchdown lead. As Freeport goes trips to the near side of the field, one receiver looks like it's Charlton to the far side. Lane back to throw. First towards the end zone. It's incomplete. Put too much mustard on that. Overthrew the intended receiver, Stuyvesant. We'll bring up a 3rd and goal from the 7.
And not bad pressure in coverage in the end zone, though. Might have got Stuyvesant to turn his head for a sec, maybe half a second. That's all you need to shift his focus. As if he was able to focus on that ball coming in, he probably would have pulled it in.
Yeah, would have taken probably a perfect throw by Lane to get that touchdown reception, as Stuyvesant has 1 touchdown grab this year. 3rd and goal, Charlton the motion man for Freeport. As Lane will keep it. Makes few man miss, and he leads into the end zone for a Freeport Yellowjacket touchdown to make it 13-0. What a great play by Ben Lane. It looked like Burrell had him in the backfield, but Lane just used his speed to get to the end zone. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. This one from 70 yards, and his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. Make it 13-0 Freeport with 56 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
Well, Adam, you can't go around them, you can't go through them, you can't go under them. Why not go over them?
Exactly.
What a jump that was.
Extra point by Vinnie Clark is good. Make it 14-0 Freeport.
Watching the 2 mascots with sword fighting right in front of the press box here. A moment ago, I was hoping to show you guys, but instead the Yellowjacket and the Buccaneer decided to put the swords away as Ben Lane scored his 2nd touchdown of the night.
interesting because it's you're not used to seeing a yellow jacket with a sword, that's for sure.
Well, he got one. Now he's got some pink pom-poms on. Let's see if we can get a look at it here on the screen. There he
Beatty
is, the Freeport Yellowjackets.
and DiCaprio back deep for Burrell inside their own 5-yard line. Vinnie Clark will do the kickoff duties. 2 for 2 on extra points is Clark so far tonight. Deep kick by Clark as it'll be touchback as DiCaprio watches the ball go over his head. Ball will take over at the 20-yard line with 56 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. As Burrell has not had a first down, 3 drives, 3 3-and-outs for the Buccaneers so far tonight. As they've pretty much kept it on the ground with Brothers and DiCaprio running it for Burrell. Fenner, the quarterback, gives it to DiCaprio. Up the middle, gets to about the 29-yard line.
Before the play, DiCaprio had 4 yards rushing on 4 runs.
Sullivan made the tackle. 2nd down and 5 for the Bucs. They'll give them the 30-yard line. With 33 seconds left, 20 seconds left on the play clock, so they have to run at least one more play before the quarter's over. Fenner now gives it to DiCaprio once again. Actually, no, misdirection. Antonio Cook was the ball carrier as he's about 1 yard short of the first down. As Burrell's going to let the clock wind, as that will be the end of the first quarter here at Burrell High School. As Freeport leads 14-0, we'll take a short break as you are watching WPIAL football here on the High Talk Sports Network.
Good evening, everyone. Their kids and family were all involved as well. As the kids moved on, Ray and Alicia moved on to the Gridiron Club, where Ray was president for 4 years, constantly working to provide memorable experiences for the kids, something he never grew tired of doing. His leadership and way of getting things done was unique, and he made many friends along the way, maybe an enemy or two as well. He never hesitated to get his hands dirty and took time to make sure the job was done right. Many of us can still hear him calling our names and asking us to do something else. Tonight we say thank you. Thank you to the Costello family. We thank him for sharing Ray with us for all these years, and his memory lives on in so many ways. That's exactly the way he would have wanted it. Ray loved to give, and tonight we celebrate he and his family for all they've done, not just for the Gridiron Club, but also for our entire community. Greg, you are missed and will always be missed. Lisa, you and your family will always hold a special place in our hearts. We love you all too. Please join me in offering a round of applause and raise memories and thanks for this wonderful family. Our athletic director, Greg D'Angelo, now has a gift for the family.
They just honored Ray Costello, former Burrell football player there, as Burrell's wearing decals on their helmets in Ray's memory. So good touch by the Burrell football team. And
Heartwarming moment.
absolutely. Now, we are just ready for second quarter action here. Freeport leads 14-0 on 2 Ben Lane rushing touchdowns from 6 yards and 7 yards. Burrell still looking for that elusive first down.
Almost there. They're just a yard away from it.
Yep, just 1 yard, ball at the 34-yard line of Burrell.
The last play, Cade DiCaprio's longest run of the night, which was 5 yards. On 5 carries, he has 9 yards.
And Burrell will be able to pick up that first down, their first down in the game, as ball's down at about the 36-yard line. Fenner with the quarterback keeper, bring up 1st and 10 for Burrell. Ball at the 37-yard line. One play in the second quarter, their first down of the game, as Burrell, their offense came in averaging 12.4 points per game. Now Fenner back to throw, throws out to the flat, incomplete, as it was off the hands of, looks like, Devin Beatty, the intended receiver, and luckily it fell behind Zach Clark. If it would have landed in the hands of Zach Clark, he maybe had a walk-in touchdown. 2nd and 10. Fenner only has 1 completion on the night for Burrell. 11:16 to go here in the second quarter of play. This Allegheny 7 conference matchup. Fenner gives to DiCaprio up the middle, gets up past the 40-yard line. Will get down at the 42-yard line. Jackson Reiser made the stop for the Yellowjackets, so he'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 for Burrell.
2 5-yard runs in a row for DiCaprio.
As Burrell just picked up its first 3rd down conversion with a Fenner QB sneak. This one a little bit 3rd and 5. It was 3rd and 1 for the last one for Burrell. Fenner under center, gives it to DiCaprio as he has the first down, breaks the tackle, gets into Freeport territory with a stiff arm as Reiser wrestles him out of bounds at about the 32. And now they'll draw a flag for what looks like a horse collar tackle. But Burrell now with a little bit of something going on here on offense. As DiCaprio just took that run up the gut. Made some good moves with the stiff arm in on there. Personal foul against Freeport. I'll move the ball up even more.
A 26-yard run, if I'm correct. And add in another at least 10 yards on with a penalty.
The ball's now at the, looks like 17-yard line of Freeport. This will be Burrell's first play in Freeport territory this evening. Freeport's defense came in giving up 18.3 points per game. Fenner gives it to DiCaprio as we have another flag on the play. Gets inside the 15-yard line. Zach Clark made the tackle. We'll see what the penalty is, though. Mitch Bashushin, the official tonight. Hold against Burrell. So we'll replay 1st down. So back-to-back penalties. That last one was personal foul against Freeport. And Burrell committing that penalty there. 10:20 left here in the second quarter. As the officials will spot the ball at the 24-yard line.
There's a timeout called by Burrell's side, and I don't have a take a look inside there.
It was actually Freeport with the timeout there. First of the half, you're good. They got 2 remaining. So head coach John Gaylott, once again, in his 14th season, has a record of 78-54. And if Freeport, once again, if they win this game tonight, they do clinch a playoff spot. And he has 9 playoff appearances. That would make it 10. Before he was at Freeport, he coached 1 year at Limestone High School in Clarion, and he's also a teacher at Freeport Elementary School. He's also the main track and field coach for Freeport as well. So that's the scoop on head coach John Gaylott. He's the longest tenured Alley-Kiski Valley head coach, taken over in 2008 for Freeport.
Well, the timeout will conclude. We'll head back out onto the field.
As now it'll be first down and 17 from the Freeport 24-yard line. Burrell in Freeport territory on that big run by DiCaprio on 3rd down. Fenner gives it to DiCaprio as he barrels his way to about the 20-yard line. Pick up 4 yards on the play to make it 2nd down and 13.
We got 2nd down. Right at the 20-yard line.
As DiCaprio in on the carry again. Gets a few more yards, but be short, way short of the 1st down marker. Sullivan made the tackle. They'll mark the ball at, looks like the 16-yard line, make it 3rd down and 9, gain of 4.
I got 50 yards now for DiCaprio on the night runner.
Yep, he's the main bell cow for Burrell. He had 41 carries last week in their win over Deer Lakes. As Fenner now looks to throw, now he steps up as he keeps it himself. He's hit hard on the play, but he's going to be short of the 1st down, being brought down at about the 12-yard line.
His helmet popped off on the tackle there, so he'll have to step out for a play.
It'll be 4th down and 5 as Burrell will bring on the field goal unit. Krauscher will attempt a field goal for Burrell. As it will be about a 30-yard field goal if my math is correct on that. High snap. The Holiday will get down. That kick is up. And that kick is good. 30-yard field goal for Ethan Krauscher. Brings ball a little closer as Freeport leads 14-3 with 8:30 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. So good job by Burrell after not getting really any offense at all in the 1st quarter, coming out in the 2nd quarter and having that drive. But Freeport stiffens in the red zone.
It's good job getting on the board there. You had to get some points on the board with the way that drive went. A huge 26-yard run by DiCaprio.
And there's the Burrell ship I was telling you about. Anytime they score, they always fire the cannon on the Burrell ship. But go ahead as I cut you off there.
Oh yeah, the ship. That's it. That's what I was getting to. That's one of the. It's always fun to see some of the interesting things these student sections have. You get going from every different high school to watch football games. But one of my favorite things so far.
Absolutely. Clark, Lane, and Zach Clark and Vinny Clark and Ben Lane back deep for Freeport. Krauscher on to kick it. It's a line drive up the middle, taken by Lane at the 20. He tries to sidestep a man at the 26, but that doesn't go well for him. Brought down by Chase Fenner, the quarterback, so good job by him to not let Lane escape. Freeport takes over, though, at their own 26-yard line. They've had good field position all night. Their worst starting field position of the day, as last time Freeport was out on offense, Ben Lane had a 7-yard rushing touchdown. Lane has 2 rushing touchdowns on the evening to give him 5 for the season. So he's back in at quarterback for Freeport. 8:24 left in the second quarter. Homecoming for Burrell. We'll have that coverage for you here coming up at halftime. Lane now looks to throw. Has time. He surveys the field. Now he keeps rolling, and he'll just run it. As good job by the Burrell defense, as good coverage down the field, and good job. It pretty much goes as a coverage sack. Loss of a couple on the play. Looked like Beatty was in on the sack. Bring up a second down and 12 for Freeport. Yeah, Lane had all day to throw. He tried to run it, but it was just a little too late. There was nowhere for him to go. So second down and 12. Lane looks to throw here again. Throws over the middle. Intercepted by Burrell. Brought down at about the 8-yard line. Interception by Cooper Hornack. So second turnover by Freeport. We have a late flag, though, on the play. Looks like the interception will stand after the play. That's sportsmanlike conduct against Freeport. So they'll bring up half the distance to the goal. So Burrell has a golden opportunity here to make this a one-possession game with 7:33 left here in the second quarter, first half.
Yeah, right away the momentum is shifted here. This time it's all for Burrell. We've got the big crowd on hand.
Official time here.
Official timeout here. As last time Burrell was on the field, Ethan Krauscher had a 30-yard field goal. But Burrell defense forcing 2 turnovers in this game. Lane throwing his 5th interception of the season.
Well, I think I mentioned it in the pregame. We've got all kinds of offensive stats to talk about, but it's the defenses that are putting on a show so far tonight.
Fenner now gives to DiCaprio as he tries to get the pile forward, but Freeport defense stands strong. Gain of 2 on the play. Sullivan made the stop for Freeport. Bring up second and goal from the 2-yard line.
54 yards now on 10 carries for DiCaprio.
Gives to DiCaprio once again as he plunges his way towards the end zone for the Burrell Buccaneers. Touchdown. As Burrell cashes in on the Ben Lane interception to Cooper Hornack in just 2 plays. Makes this a 14-9 game with 6:53 remaining here in the second quarter.
10th touchdown of the season for Kid DiCaprio. Just doing what he does best, being an explosive runner. The guy is a unit, over 6 feet tall, over 200 pounds. That's somebody gonna try hard to stop.
Krauscher's extra point is wide left, but still Burrell makes it a 1-score game, 14-9 after that Ben Lane interception. So momentum on the side of Burrell as Freeport outscored Burrell 14-0 in the first quarter, but we're about halfway through the second quarter. Burrell outscoring Freeport in this quarter 9-0. As DiCaprio came into this game with 128 attempts for 706 yards, now he has 10 touchdowns. That's pretty much accounted for all of the Burrell touchdowns this season. As once again, what's on the line here, Freeport, they win and they're in as they clinch a playoff spot with a victory. Burrell needing a win to keep the playoff hopes alive. Burrell currently in 4th place in the standings. Freeport is in 2nd place in the Allegheny 7 Conference. Top 4 teams in the conference make the playoffs. Zach Clark, Vinnie Clark, Ben Lane back deep. about their own 20-yard line. So we have an onside kick by Burrell, but no problem for Freeport as Jacob Bollinger recovered. Looks like they'll mark him down at the 48-yard line. So the gamble of the onside kick doesn't pay off as Freeport has excellent field position once again at their own 48-yard line. Ben Lane came out last drive threw an interception to Cooper Hornack, and Hornack was down at the 6, and Burrell was able to punch it in with DiCaprio rushing touchdown from 2 yards. Lane back in at quarterback. Clark, the motion man, gives to Jack up the middle with the head of steam. Gets into Burrell territory, gets past the 45-yard line. Good run on first down. Brought down by Connor Wojciech. Ball will be down at the 48-yard line. 2nd down and 1 for Freeport.
A beautiful way to start off a drive, though. With plenty of time to work with. They have 6 minutes and 20 seconds.
Lane now faces Stuyvesant and runs up the middle. He gets that first down inside the 40-yard line of Burrell. Showing off the speed there as Lane already has 2 rushing touchdowns. DiCaprio made the tackle for the Buccaneers, but not until a Freeport first down. Freeport's first down of the quarters. They didn't have one when Ben Lane threw an interception on the Freeport's last drive. Ball at the Burrell 38-yard line.
4 carries for 19 yards for Ben Lane tonight.
Lane now gives it to Stuyvesant on the jet motion. He has always up past the 30. Tries to cut the corner, but he's brought down out of bounds at about the 21-yard line of Burrell. Gain of 17, though. There is a flag on the play. 17-yard gain on the play. Personal foul against Burrell. Wasn't sure who made the tackle on that play, but we have the distance, though.
But that really hurts there. The onside kick, the defense really has to step up. A penalty, it's half the distance to the goal. Doesn't help.
Yes, so it'll be a 1st and goal. Penalty moves the ball up to the 10-yard line for Freeport. As now head coach Sean Lyota for Burrell calls a timeout. His first timeout of the game. His 2 left. Sean Lyota in his 4th season with Burrell. He has a 12-23 record. He has quite the coaching resume, too, for Burrell. He was a coach at Springdale from 1999 to 2002. He was an assistant coach at Duquesne in 2003-2004. He was at Line Mountain High School in 2004. He coached at West Shamokin High School in 2005-2008. He was at Pitt Erie Riverets 07-08 in indoor football, also with the Wheeling Wildcats 2009. He coached at York also in 2009. He was with the Erie Explosion 2010 and 2015. Then he went back to high school football after that. He was at McKeesport in 2011 and 2012. He went to Salzburg High School 2013. He was at Clareton City High School between 2014 and 2015. And before Burrell, he was coach at Albert Gallatin from 2016 to 2017. But 5:41 remaining here in the second quarter. It's actually not a 1st and goal, as looks like the sticks are out there, so Freeport can get a 1st down without a touchdown. Lane the quarterback, as they spread them out, they go 4 wide. Lane now gives it to Jack. He makes a man miss as he's going to be brought down on about the 5-yard line. Bring up a 2nd down and 5.
Well, why not use that 1st down, run as much time off the clock as you can. Freeport will receive the second half kickoff. One of my favorite stats is who receives the second half kickoff. As you have an opportunity to score late in the second quarter and you get the ball right back to start the third.
Lane now gives it to the motion man. That's Stuyvesant trying to turn the corner, but not much luck there as he's going to have no gain on the play. Tyler McGlisco made the tackle for Burrell. No gain, make it a 3rd down and 5 for Freeport. 4:40 remaining here in the second quarter. Burrell has outscored Freeport 9-0 here in this quarter after Freeport took a 14-0 lead. Once again, Freeport can get a first down without a touchdown. Lane and Jack in the backfield. Lane, the quarterback. Jack, the running back for Freeport. King, the motion man. Now, Lane will keep it himself on the side. Run. He's able to glide into the end zone for that Freeport touchdown. Lane's 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. He has a hat trick to give Freeport a 20-9 lead with 4:12 remaining in the second quarter.
Well, you mentioned the hat trick, and the numbers on there: a 5-yard rush, a 6-yard rush, a 7-yard rush. How often do you see that?
Vinnie Clark on to attempt the extra point for Freeport. 2 for 2 on extra points. And make that 3 for 3 on extra points as Freeport answers Burrell's touchdown with a touchdown of their own to make it a 2-possession game, 21-9. Freeport leads with 4:12 left here in the second quarter. As pretty much Freeport kept that ball on the ground. As that was a 52-yard scoring drive after Burrell attempted an onside kick that wasn't successful. But now time for the Burrell offense to respond as both teams have 2 timeouts here remaining in this half. DiCaprio and Beatty back deep for the Buccaneers inside their own 10-yard line at about the 9. Clark will do the kicking duties. Freeport kicking off from right to left. Vinnie Clark 3 for 3 on extra points so far in this game. Waiting for the run up. We're up in the kick from Clark. High kick. It'll be returned by Beatty at the 5-yard line. As he has a hole down that near sideline, and he goes out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. Brady Sullivan forced him out of bounds. Burrell has it, though, at its own 34-yard line with 4:05 left here in the second quarter. Caden DiCaprio had a 2-yard rushing touchdown for his 10th of the season. Last time the Burrell offense was out on the field on a short field set up by a Cooper Hornack interception.
And now they got a time on the clock to work with, so any game you can get is a good game.
Fenner, the quarterback for Burrell, give this to DiCaprio up past the 35-yard line. Multiple bodies in on that play. Andrew Sullivan and Jackson Reiser in on the stop for Burrell. Bring up gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
58 yards now on the night for DiCaprio.
DiCaprio coming in tonight averaging 5.8 yards a carry.
That's pretty good. That's a good number you'd love to have from any running back.
Fenner gives to DiCaprio once again. He's up past the 40, puts his head down. He will be about a yard short of the first down. Bear Freeman made the tackle for Freeport.
And going back to what you just said, Adam, that 5.8 yards. This isn't, DiCaprio isn't trying to get that outside edge. He's going right up the middle, blasting through the offensive line, through the linebackers. But Freeport's playing a short field on their defense. No secondaries past the 10 yards out.
Fenner gives it to DiCaprio, who will have that ball. Buccaneers first down up past the 45-yard line at the 46-yard line of Burrell. Andrew Sullivan made the tackle for Freeport after Burrell struggling with third downs in the first quarter. They've only missed 1 third down to my calculation. That resulted in a field goal after that, field goal try. Fenner gives to DiCaprio once again as he trips. He'll be no gain on the play. Jędrzejewski made the tackle for Freeport. Now 2:14 remaining here in the second quarter. Burrell in no rush with 2 timeouts in their pocket and down 2 possessions with Freeport getting the ball to start the second half. Fenner now back to throw. Throws it short. That is caught at the 48-yard line. Not much going on play as Brothers made that reception for Burrell. Zach Clark made the tackle for Freeport. As minute 57 left, Coach John Gaylott calls timeout for Freeport. Ball will be we'll call it maybe the 48.5-yard line.
The second completion of the night for Fenner gives him 7 yards passing. And when we look at he's only had 8 attempts all season, 4 completions for 65 yards. Not somebody you see pass the ball often at all.
And we'll bring up a 3rd and 8 once we're done with the timeout at the 49-yard line. Coming up will be homecoming for Burrell. And so Freeport's band will play, then homecoming festivities will start. And Burrell's band will play after the game, and we will have coverage of that for you after the game. So stay tuned for that. Plenty of halftime festivities as it was homecoming for Freeport last week. As you see, Cole Charlton on your screen there was one of the escorts last week for Freeport. He also had a pick 6, but now Burrell's turn for homecoming festivities. 3rd and 8 at the 49-yard line. Freeport with that timeout has 1 timeout remaining here in the second quarter. Fenner now gives it to Niger Floyd, but he's going to be nowhere near the first down marker. As now Freeport will call its final timeout with minute 39 remaining in the first half.
Going to actually count that as a loss of a yard for Floyd.
Floyd, first time he's touched the ball today.
That is now the 5th person, the 5th Buccaneer to run the football tonight. Of course, DiCaprio, the big one, 15 carries for 66 yards.
Vinnie Clark made the tackle on that play for Freeport. And yeah, you mentioned Chase Fenner. He hasn't thrown the ball much today. He came into tonight with he was only 4 of 8 for 65 yards, no touchdown passes, and 1 interception. Krauscher on at his own 35-yard line. The punt for Burrell. Vinnie Clark and Ben Lane back deep inside their own 25-yard line by the 24-yard line for Freeport. Good punt by Krauscher. It will angle out of bounds. Where do the official mark it? Looks like they'll mark it down at the Freeport 22-yard line. So Freeport, with no timeouts left, needs to go 78 yards to find the end zone with a minute 32 left in the first quarter, or second quarter. So you think Lane would want to put it up in the air. He tried that on 2 drives ago with a Cooper Hornack interception, but Lane, he ran it in from 5 yards on the last drive. Lane has 3 rushing touchdowns tonight. Yeah, I can't get more efficient than that, really.
His 4th carry to 1-yard quarterback keeper.
Freeport will spread out once again. Zach Clark, the motion man, as Lane will just give it to Jack up the middle, gets up past the 25-yard line. Brothers made the stop. It's now official timeout as Jack came up hobbling on the play as he just goes down on the turf. That stops Clark with a minute 19 remaining. We'll pick up 5 yards on the play, 2nd down and 5.
And Jack on the night so far, 7 carries for 34 yards. And it's a 5-yard gain. He's had 4 5-yard gains on the night. As long as a 6-yard run, which was a second.
As Jack is able to go off the field on his own power, bring him 2nd down and 5. Zach Clark now the new running back beside Lane for the Yellowjackets.
Here we go.
Lane now back to throw. He has time. Now has a little bit of pressure. He rolls out. Now he looks down the field and throws it just into the popcorn vendor into the Freeport stands. Bring up 3rd down and 5 and figured didn't want to force it there. With 1:03 left, and Freeport does get the ball to start the second half. Third down and 5, 1:03 remaining. Once again, stay tuned for the homecoming festivities here at Burrell Buccaneer Stadium. Zach Clark, the running back, besides Lane, as they go 4 wide. Spread it out like they've done all game. High snap, Lane keeps it himself. He makes a man miss. Great juke move. He has first down, plenty of green turf. Makes another man miss. Does a stutter step as he was not able to get out of bounds on the play. Great tackling by Burrell to make sure he didn't get out of bounds.
You got to make sure you get out of bounds to stop the clock. You get to stop it a little bit when they move the sticks.
Ball now at the 42-yard line of Freeport. Ballers made the tackle on that play. Now Lane looks to throw, throws towards the sideline. That is complete. Trying to see who the number was. Looks like Brady Stevenson on play, so he was able to get out of bounds to stop the clock at the 46-yard line of Freeport. Bring up 2nd down and 6. 37 seconds remain. Freeport has no timeouts left here. 2nd and 6. Lane will be quarterback draw as he gets the first down, gets into Burrell territory, gets wrestled down at the Burrell 45-yard line. Cook made the tackle for Burrell as Lane just clocks it. Bring up a 2nd down and 10 with 21 seconds left, as you'd think you'd want to try to get into field goal range for Vinnie Clark. You think you need a good chunk here and maybe spike the ball or try to work the sidelines. With 21 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Now we have a official's timeout as Ben Lane will look like he was wincing in pain there.
Some kind of lower body issue there.
Not sure what happened there.
He has been running the ball pretty aggressively, and you're going to take hits when you're running the ball against an aggressive defense like this. It's actively trying to stop you from going down the field. It's looking at some of Lane's past runs. 16 yards, 9 yards. You've got to mention with 3 touchdowns on the night.
As the clock was running, but it was an official's timeout for an injury. The clock was running with 8 seconds left, but they're going to make sure, like, no, that's not true. They'll put back 21 seconds left. As Garrett King comes in to play quarterback for Freeport, he was the starting quarterback to begin the season, but Lane has started the last couple of games for Freeport as King started the first 3 games for Freeport. Should be 21 seconds left here on the clock.
Reset the clock.
23.
Now we're saying 23. As we're waiting for the clock to resume play. Scared King once again in at quarterback for Ben Lane, who was a little slow to get off the sideline there. 23 seconds remain. Ball at the Burrell 45-yard line. Stevenson, the motion man, but King, he will run it up the middle. Great tackle, open field tackle though by Burrell. DiCaprio made that good tackle. As looks like Freeport They're going to let the clock go down to 0 as Freeport will receive the second half kickoff as Freeport leads Burrell 21-9. Stay tuned though for the halftime show. The halftime sponsor of Freeport football is Douglas Insurance. Douglas Insurance Services, located in Freeport or in Sarver next to Freeport High School, is an independent insurance agency, which means they've made available some of their best companies for your online quick quotes. Douglas Insurance Service offers personal insurance coverages to their clients in Pennsylvania, including individual annuities, boat and watercraft, auto insurance, condo insurance, and flood insurance. Call them today at 1-800-722-9990. Douglas Insurance Services is a proud sponsor of Freeport Athletics. So, yeah, we'll keep it here for the halftime shows. Before the homecoming festivities start, you will get to hear the Freeport Band.
Next, this story tells the song of long ending with special someones and only he cares. Here's Will Wilson's hit, Always on My Mind.
I want you to say this.
Yeah. I don't know who Christy plays tonight.
all know and love. Get up and line dance with us if you'd like. Please enjoy the classic hit by Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2021 Burrell Homecoming Game. At this time, please direct your attention to the field as we announce the 2021 Burrell High School Homecoming Group. First up, Caroline Dinga. Caroline is escorted by Cole Clark. Caroline's parents are Stephanie and Brian Baker. She has 2 siblings, Chase and Brianna. Caroline's activities include travel softball for Team Pennsylvania, Burrell softball, and tennis. An interesting fact about Caroline is that she upscales clothes and resells them online. Her favorite memory of VHS is going to get smoothies after softball games with her teammates. Caroline's future plans include becoming an English or an art high school teacher. Cole Clark's parents are Chad and Carolyn Clark, and he has 2 sisters, Valerie and Brooke. Cole's activities include wrestling. He's a former football player, and he also runs the ship. Some interesting facts about Cole are that his friends call him Chuck, and he likes P&M pizza. His favorite memories of VHS are hanging out with his friends and beating Chestnut Ridge in wrestling to go top 4 in teams in the States. Cole's future plans include working for Buccaneer Lights. A round of applause for Caroline Vega and Cole Clark. Up next, Kate Reiner. Kate is escorted by this year's homecoming king, Gavin Thompson. Kate's parents are Jennifer and John Reiner, and she has 1 sister, Bryn, and 1 brother, Nathan. Her activities include tennis, National Honor Society, and drama club. An interesting fact about Kate is she makes a lot of her own jewelry. Her favorite memory at Burrell High School is meeting new people through tennis, drama, and other activities. Kate's future plans include playing tennis and studying abroad in college. Gavin's parents are Heather Thompson, stepdad Bo Jackson, father Darren Thompson, and stepmom Kristen Thompson. And his siblings are Michaela and Molly Thompson, and Joe and Justine Jackson. His activities include football, basketball, and yearbook. An interesting fact about Gavin is that he loves to wear Hawaiian shirts. His favorite memory of VHS is when a goat broke into school. His future plans include going to college for graphic design. A round of applause for Kate Reiner and your homecoming king, Gavin Thompson. Next up, Anna Novak. Anna is escorted by Brandon Corey. Anna's parents are Debbie and Jeff Novak, and her siblings are Caitlin, Jonathan, and Sarah. And Anna wants to give a shout out to her brother-in-law Kyle and nephew AJ. Her sports include Burrell volleyball, soccer, track, and also West Moreland Elite Volleyball Club. Anna's extracurricular activities include president of student government, president of the National Honor Society, Interact, STEM team, and also being a member of St. Margaret Mary Youth Group, and also an altar server at the church. One interesting fact about Anna is that she broke her ankle the very first time she tried hurdling and hasn't tried it since. Her favorite memory of VHS is all the off-peak concerts on bus rides home from games. As the volleyball team knows, it's all about the climb. Anna plans to go to college for biomedical engineering. Brandon's parents are Bill and Nicole Corey, and he has 2 sisters, Michaela and Addison. His activities include basketball, National Honor Society, Future Business Leaders of America, math team, and yearbook. One interesting fact about Brandon is that he was at the last Pirates playoff game. His favorite memory of Burrell High School is scoring 38 in 1 game against Kissimmee and beating them in basketball at their place. His future plans are to attend college for sports medicine. A round of applause for Anna Novak and Brandon Corey. And up next, Caitlin Pastupak. Caitlin is escorted by Travis Pito. Caitlin's parents are Doug and Amy Pastupak, and she has 1 brother, Luke. Her activities include 4 years of varsity soccer, 5 years of club soccer, track, and she has volunteered for Tri-City Youth Soccer and futsal with her club soccer team. An interesting fact about Kate is that most people know her as KB, which started with a freshman year soccer coach who thought her name was too long to shout out on the soccer field. Her favorite memory of Burrell is Friday night football games in the ship. Caitlin plans to attend Slippery Rock University to major in biology and then pursue a degree in physical therapy. Travis's parents are Sherry and RJ Vito, and his siblings are Tucker, Logan, and Alexa. His activities include basketball, baseball, Future Business Leaders of America, math team, and yearbook. One interesting fact about Travis is that his favorite animal is a gorilla, because an untrained gorilla can bench 4,000 pounds. His favorite memory at Burrell is passing AP calculus. Travis's future plans are to attend college to get a bachelor's degree in finance and business, and then continue on to law school. A round of applause for Caitlin Foster-Patton and Travis Musa. And last, but certainly not least, Julian Perry. Julian is escorted by Phoebe Sitola.
I don't know who thought
Jillian's parents are Jen and Jim Perry, and she has 2 siblings, Jaden and Jordan. Her activities include tennis, and she is a social media manager for Burrell Schools. An interesting fact about Jillian is that she enjoys listening and dancing to Michael Jackson in her free time. Her favorite memory at VHS is her senior year schedule because she gets to spend time with Mr. Reddick for the majority of her day. Jillian's future plans are to attend college and to go on adventures with the people she loves the most. Vinny's parents are Amy and Ralph Sitola. He has 2 brothers, Don and Cam. His activities include doodling in his free time since he does not play sports. One interesting fact about Vinny is that he shaved one of his eyebrows off twice in 1 year. His favorite memory at Burrell is his freshman year with Senora Federer. Vinny's future plans include becoming a diesel mechanic. A round of applause for Jillian Perry and Vinny Sitola. And your 2021 homecoming queen is Yellowjackets.
When you're zooming in, Mason, try to zoom in a little slower. Because like when you zoom in very fast, it makes it like kind of blurry. Does that make sense? Yes. So when you zoom in fast, like it gets blurry. So try to zoom in a little slower.
Douglas Insurance Services, located in Sarver next to Freeport High School, is an independent insurance agency, which means they've made available some of their best companies for your online quick quotes. Douglas Insurance Services offers personal insurance coverages to their clients in Pennsylvania, including individual annuities, boat and watercraft, auto, condo, and flood insurance. Call them today at 1-800-722-2727 9990. Douglas Insurance Services, a proud sponsor of Freeport Athletics.
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project at the Botanic Store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, hashtag Sable Meat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef prepared, chef Paul prepared sushi every day fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
We're back here at Burrell High School as Freeport leads Burrell 21-9. Mason, how about you read some of the stats from the first half for us?
Yes, looking through, we'll talk about Freeport first. Ben Lane has scored all 3 touchdowns for the Yellowjackets so far. 6 rushes for 44 yards, a long of 16. I've got behind him, we've got Shane Jack, who's ran the ball 8 times for 38 yards. Also, Ben Lane, two pass completions for 36 yards. And that'll add up and give Freeport the lead, 21 points for them. On Burrell's side of things, Caden DeCapra has run the ball 15 times. We expected him to run the ball a lot. He's got 66 yards and 1 touchdown on the night. His long being a 26-yard run back in the first quarter, I believe. And also, there was a field goal kicked by Ethan Crosher, 30 yards out. That'll be explained Burrell's 9 points. The extra point was wide to the left. I forgot to mention that. That'll explain why they only got 6 points on the touchdown.
Yeah, and Burrell's touchdown came from a Caden DiCaprio 2-yard run, his 10th touchdown of the season. We have some halftime scores. All these scores in section. At halftime, North Catholic is shutting out Deer Lakes 21-0. North Catholic ahead of Freeport in the standings at 4-0, which will be Freeport's next opponent next week. And Deer Lakes 3-1 in conference standings, ahead of Burrell in 3rd place. Burrell's in 4th place. Get this. Now, I don't know if it's a wrong score, but East Allegheny's beating Derry 62-0 after only putting up 7 points against Freeport last week. And Yawkin Valley are scoreless. These are halftime scores. Yawkin Valley are scoreless at halftime. And also, staying in the AK Valley, one of the games we're covering here on the High Top Sports Network, Highlands is beating Armstrong 28-7 at halftime. Armstrong with a win clinches a playoff spot just like Freeport, but Armstrong failing to do that tonight. They got their work cut out in the second half. In Mason, what were the other scores on the games we were covering? I remember the first game, but not the other two.
Kiski versus Shaler. Kiski was out 14-13 at the half. That's a nail biter there. Kiski on a 2-game losing skid. So definitely a big matchup there. They lost to Fox Chapel last week. His turnovers really caused that game to slip out of hand. And Knock trailing Plum right now 26-0. I don't know if you mentioned that one.
I did not. Yeah, in that section of Knock, Armstrong, and Highlands, yeah, and the top 5 teams make the playoffs, so pretty much no one's really out of it yet. in that section, Knock with just one conference win. Highlands also with one conference win. Armstrong coming in 3-1, losing their only conference game to Hampton earlier on this season. But when we resume action here, Freeport will get the football. And on that last drive, Ben Lane, I don't know if he was just tired or fatigued. Didn't look like he was really injured, but he left the field, and Garrett King was the quarterback to end the second quarter. As see Ben Lane, looks like he will be out there to receive the second half kick from Burrell, looks like, as the returners for Freeport tonight have been Vinny Clark, Zach Clark, and Ben Lane. As Mason mentioned, Ben Lane with 3 rushing touchdowns.
They get that a 5-yard run, a 6-yard run, a 7-yard run. If he scores again, what will it be? Will it be a 4-yard run or an 8-yard run?
Be interesting to see, but as you see, our scoreboard sponsor, Sprankles Neighborhood Markets, it is located at 270 West Water Street in Saxonburg. It's been making quality meat a family tradition since 1999. Sprankles takes pride in delivering the best prices around while providing the best overall value for their customers by offering the widest range of items, the highest quality and freshness, the most organized and cleanest shopping environment, and the friendliest associates. Make sure to visit www.spranklesocktoberfest.com. And remember to always check out Sprankle's Facebook page to #SaveOnMe. And we want to thank you for watching High Top Sports Network with us. If you or somebody you know is local business interested in sponsoring High Top Sports Network coverage of Freeport now or in the future, please contact us at staff@hightopsportsnetwork.com or by phone at 724-824-3554. You can also find us at www.hightopsportsnetwork.com or on Facebook at High Top Sports or on Twitter at @hightop_sports.
A lot of exciting coverage still to come, though. 2 more weeks of second play here for Freeport. They'll host North Catholic and then travel to Deer Lakes to wrap up the season. Deer Lakes did fall to Burrell last week, 28-24. As here we go, we're underway from the third quarter.
Ethan Krauscher will kick this deep for Burrell with Zach Clark, Vinny Clark, Ben Lane back deep inside their 20 for Freeport. It's a low line drive. Kick taken on the bounce by Zach Clark at his 19-yard line. Makes a man miss. He's up past the 30. Now up past the 40. So good return by Zach Clark.
Good return, but that's also a very dangerous ground ball in the field, too. You're going to make sure you field it cleanly, right at the chest, get 2 hands on it. The last thing you want to do is fumble that, and then you get pinned deep, or even worse, if a Buccaneer is able to get down the field, you could lose that ball.
Charles Schinko made the tackle for Burrell, but Freeport good field position once again at the 43-yard line. Ben Lane back in at quarterback after leaving on the last drive, and he will keep it himself, and he's up past midfield. He has a first down as he takes Burrell defenders with him inside the 45-yard line. Tristan Brothers made the stop, but not before a Freeport first down at the Burrell 42-yard line. Great run by Ben Lane, as there was a little bit of a high snap, but he had no trouble handling that snap. It's Ben Lane, the hat trick in football with 3 rushing touchdowns in that first half.
A 14-yard run there.
Shane Jack, who also was injured on that last drive at running back, he's back in at running back next to Lane. Now Lane looks to throw. He has time. Goes over the middle, incompletes. Vinny Clark, his intended target, had him open, but he just underthrew it. Bring up second down and 10.
You get it once thrown not any higher. Your defender can turn, spin, and jump right into traffic and pick that ball off.
As now the official moves the ball back to the 43. As it looks like if Vinny Clark's able to catch that, he had a lot of
there's a lot of potential for yards after the catch.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. But it was second down and 10, 11:01 left here in the third quarter. Lane now, a little bit of an option play. He keeps it. He jukes up the middle. Here's the first down and much more as he trucks a Burrell defender inside the 25-yard line, down at the 24-yard line. Van Chico made the tackle for Burrell. But that's a gain of 19 on the play, first down and 10
to move on
for the Yellowjackets. Yeah, his previous long this year was, or not this year,
at the game was
17.
16.
Yep. But Freeport threatening once again, up by 2 scores, 21-9. Freeport with the win clinches a playoff berth. Zach Clark, the motion man. Now Lane hands it off to Shane Jack, and he tries to keep the legs turning. Will be brought down at the 20-yard line by multiple Burrell defenders. Looked like homecoming king Gavin Thompson was in on the tackle for Burrell, so congratulations to him.
One of the beautiful things about high school football, you have the homecoming king, or if it's a football player, they're out there at halftime, still in uniform, sweaty or muddy or whatever the elements are. They're out there wearing a crown royalty.
2nd and 7, Lane, quarterback. Now flag. Ball start against Freeport. We'll back them up 5 yards, make it a 2nd down and 12. The homecoming queen, Hannah Novak. So congratulations to Burrell's homecoming king and queen, Hannah Novak, the queen, and Gavin Thompson, the king. Congratulations to them. 2nd and 12 now at the 25-yard line of Burrell for Freeport as Freeport goes 4 wide. Lane now looks to throw, throws a quick pass out to Zach Clark in the flat. As he's tripped up, he will make it, get maybe 1 yard on the play to about the original line of scrimmage. Will bring up a 3rd down and 11. It'll be 24-yard line with 9:16 left here in the 3rd quarter.
That man passing with like 3 pass completions for 38 yards. The one game's been the magic.
Lane looks to throw once again. Now he rolls out. He throws down the field, wide open. And that is caught for a Freeport first down by Brady Stuyvesant. He tried to do a tightrope act, but he goes out of bounds. Be a 1st and goal. Stuyvesant was wide open on the play. Looks like they'll mark him down at the 3-yard line for a 1st and goal at the 3.
That's just 1 yard completion for Ben Lane.
And Zach Clark gave him good field position, had a good return. 1st and goal, though. Lane with 3 rushing touchdowns again. Can he make it 4? Gives it to Jack, and it's not going to have much there. Gets maybe 1 yard on the play. Bring up 2nd down and goal from the 2. 8:34 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Freeport opening drive of the 3rd quarter. 2nd and goal from the 2. Freeport in that spread formation they've been in all game. As Lane gives it to Jack, as he waltzes into the end zone for a 2-yard rushing touchdown for Freeport. Freeport now up by 3 possessions. They lead 27-9 with 8:13 left in the 3rd quarter.
Now with Jack running it in on the 2-yard run, that gives him 11 carries for 44 yards and his first touchdown on the night.
Not only his first touchdown of the night, his first touchdown of the season. So nice to see Shane Jack get in the end zone, and Ben Lane is like, oh, I'll let someone score this time, as Ben Lane had the first 3 touchdowns for Freeport. Vinnie Clark on to attempt the extra point. Zach Clark, the holder, the kick is up, and that kick is good. Make it 28-9, Freeport lead. It seems like it's been a while since the Burrell offense has been out on the field, as Freeport had the last possession of the 2nd quarter, didn't do anything with it scoring-wise, but as you mentioned, Mason, sometimes it's important to see who gets the ball to start the 2nd half. As Freeport, they got the ball to start the 2nd half. They took full possession with a Shane Jack 2-yard rushing touchdown, as Burrell When they opened the game up, they had a 3-and-out, so Freeport wins the battle on that.
But so far, the score is going perfectly. Well, seemingly swimmingly for Freeport. They head back to the WPIAL playoffs.
Beatty and DiCaprio back deep for Burrell at their own 5-yard line. Vinnie Clark will kick it off. High, deep kick, and that will bounce into the end zone for a touchback. So Burrell will take over at the 20-yard line. For the Burrell offense, Caden DiCaprio has a 2-yard rushing touchdown, and Ethan Krauscher has a 30-yard field goal to account for the Burrell points.
15-66 is the DiCaprio on the night. The Buccaneers have completed 2 passes.
And Burrell, they need to get something going here to get back into this game. Now we have a pitch, but Freeport is all over that in the backfield. That's Andrew Sullivan.
Lost though, 4 yards.
Trying to see who the ball carrier was on that.
Maybe I heard Sullivan.
Who's Niger Floyd. It'll be a loss of 5 on the play, make it second down and 15. Floyd's second carry of the game. Ball's now back at the 15-yard line. Fenner now gives it to DiCaprio, but he's going to be met by a wall of Freeport defenders.
DiCaprio tries the middle, brought by the interior part of the Yellowjackets line.
Maybe no gain on the play. Or no, see where they marked him. Actually, at the original line of scrimmage.
Third and long for the Bucs.
Cole Charlton in on the tackle. Gain of 2. Third down and 13 from the 22-yard line. As Fenner gives it off to Beatty, but he's going to be brought down at the 20-yard line. Sullivan and Otterman in on the tackle for Freeport. Sullivan, his second tackle for loss on this drive. Garrett King also made the tackle. That'll be a loss of 2. Burrell goes 3-and-out once again. They've gone out 3-and-out about, say, 4 times. Krauscher will punt from his own 6. Vinnie Clark and Ben Lane back at about their own 49-yard line. Line drive punt is dropped by Clark, but he's able to pick it up at about the 46-yard line. He has a lane with blockers, too. As he cuts towards the middle of the field, cuts back once again. He gets inside the 10, breaks another tackle. Great return by Vinnie Clark all the way down to the Burrell 5-yard line. There are no flags on the field. But he got that at about the Freeport 46-yard line, and he dropped it, and he had just no one around him as he was able to cut towards the far side of the field, bring up a first down and goal from the 5-yard line with 6:09 left here in the third quarter.
Clark, great job making something out of nothing there. He had to run backwards as he didn't get a field the punt cleanly. But the blocking did such a great job helping Clark, keeping his feet moving.
Now we have a timeout for Freeport, their first timeout of the half. They got 2 remaining. Last time the offense was on the field for the Yellowjackets, Shane Jack scored a 2-yard rushing touchdown for his first touchdown of the season. As that was about a 49-yard punt return by Vinnie Clark.
A 49-yard punt return, but he started out within Burrell's territory. So he had to go backwards about 10 yards to field that.
It also looked like, too, he was kind of floating with stepping out of bounds on the Burrell sideline, but he did a good job to make sure his feet were in bounds.
Either way, it would have been great field position, but hey, never give up.
Freeport back out there. First and goal from the 5. Lane, the quarterback, Jack the sidecar to his right. Now the give is to Garrett King on the jet sweep, and he tries to dive through the corner of the end zone, and he plunges into the end zone for the Freeport Yellow Jacket touchdown. Garrett King has thrown 2 touchdowns this season, but this time he runs it in for his first rushing touchdown of the season to give Freeport a 34-9 lead with 6:01 remaining here in the third quarter. Great play call there as all 5 of Freeport's touchdowns have been on the ground. 3 touchdowns by Ben Lane, 1 by Shane Jack, and that touchdown there courtesy of Garrett King. Before the extra point attempt, we have, looks like a timeout called by Freeport. Not sure why. As I think so they have 1 left. Looked like they didn't have enough players on the field as. Look, that was Ben Lane that was jogging onto the field for the Yellowjackets. So we'll try it once again. Vinny Clark on to attempt the extra point. Zach Clark, the holder. Logan Jędrzejewski, the snapper. Here's the extra point, and it is good. So Freeport leads 35-9 with 6:01 left here in the third quarter as they were set up in prime position as they only needed 1 play from 5 yards, courtesy of that 49-yard punt return by Vinny Clark. As Freeport, they had a 14-0 lead after the first quarter. But Burrell then came back to score 9 unanswered points, make it a 14-9 game. But then after that happened, Freeport answered with a touchdown of their own, and ever since then, Freeport's been cruising up 35-9, up by 26.
Yeah, that's there where Burrell started to claw away at Freeport. They were able to swing the momentum back their way. There's a good Freeport crowd on hand as well, and they were able to shut things down as they want to lock up their playoff spot tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Caprio and Beatty back deep for Burrell. Clark will kick it off for the Yellowjackets. Deep kick once again, and that'll find the end zone. As that's about the 3rd touchback for Clark.
For Freeport, it's a game. It's not a game of management of a clock. 6 minutes to go here in the third. Look when they put the ball.
As the ball will be at the 20-yard line after the touchback. 1st and 10, Burrell on their lone possession here in the second half has a 3-and-out. Fenner, the quarterback under center, gives it to DiCaprio. Tackled by multiple Freeport defenders by Jackson Reiser in on that play. He'll pick up about 3 yards on the play. Make it 2nd down and 7. At the zero spot at the 24-yard line.
It'll give DiCaprio 71 yards now on the ground tonight.
And that 1 rushing touchdown, the only touchdown for Burrell tonight. 2nd down and 8. Give his big hit on the play as Mason Jones carries the ball for the first time tonight. So he gets down to the 26, make it a 3rd down and 6.
That'll bring up 3rd down for the Bucs.
Big 3rd down here with 4:57 left here in the third quarter. Freeport, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns in this quarter. Fenner, the quarterback. Give is to Mason Jones. And let's see, he's awfully close to that first down marker. Let's see if they will move the sticks. Zach Clark and Bear Freeman in on the tackle as the officials will move the chains for a Burrell first down.
Jones, some great efficiency. 2 carries, 7 yards. And the 6th Buccaneer to carry the football here for Burrell tonight.
Ball on the 30 with 4:10 remaining in the third quarter. Now the give is to Mason Jones again, his second carry of the drive. Gets down to the 33-yard line, gain of 3 yards. Bear Freeman with the stop for Freeport.
At this point, keep giving the ball to Jones. He's gotten a couple of yards every single carry.
2nd down and 7 for the Burrell Buccaneers. Down by 26. Need something here on this drive to claw their way back into this game.
They need a big play.
The give is to Jones again. He'll get maybe only 1 yard on the play to the 34-yard line. Actually, give him a 35. Bring him a 3rd down and 5. Like Cole Charlton made the stop for Freeport.
4 carries, 12 yards for Mason Jones, all on this drive.
Yes, DiCaprio's been the lead bell cow, hasn't gotten a carry yet this drive, but he will get the carry. But he will be short of the first down at the 38-yard line. Andrew Sullivan made the tackle for Freeport. Actually, we'll call it a 4th down and 3 at the 37. As Burrell's offense will stay on the field, Fenner the quarterback, as they will try to go for it. See if they'll actually run a play here. As they will, give it to DiCaprio. As let's see where they put it. Looks like he has enough. He does, so DiCaprio just put his head down and was able to get just enough for the first down. Got it by about a half yard.
Mason Jones and DiCaprio working well together. Now, DiCaprio's had 8 yards on this drive. Jones has had 12.
Give is to Mason Jones for about 2-yard play. Someone was shoved to the ground well after the whistle was blown. Andrew Sullivan made the tackle. So we have 1:40 left here in this third quarter. Gain of 2 to the 43-yard line of Burrell, bring up a 2nd down and 8.
And that's another run by Jones, correct?
Yeah, it looks like it. As he didn't have any carries in the first half, but Coach Lyotta's been going to him a lot on this drive. He has had more carries than DiCaprio has.
Coming into the game, he's had 4 rushing attempts for 9 yards. Haven't seen a lot of them.
Fenner now, he'll put it in the air. Throws a back pass, will be a double pass, and that is incomplete. Looked like DiCaprio tried to throw it down the field. It was way underthrown. Cam Marmo, the intended receiver, as actually last week, DiCaprio did complete a pass for 25 yards to Marmo for a 4th down conversion that deep in Deer Lake's territory, but that play didn't work there. As three Yellowjackets were in on coverage, bringing up 3rd down and 8, stops the clock with 1:01 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, once DiCaprio dropped back like that, and he put his hands up, that moved the secondary back deep into the field.
Fenner looks to throw once again, but he is sacked on the play. Back at about the 37-yard line. In on that sack for Freeport is Armando Brunk. And looks like Sean Sellinger. And for Freeport, I believe their 2nd sack of the night. Bring up a 4th down and 14, loss of 6 at the 37-yard line, and Burrell will punt. Krauscher on to punt for the Bucks. Vinnie Clark back deep. Looks like Brady Stuyvesant also deep for Freeport at the 36-yard line. Not 17 seconds left. Krauscher, a high punt towards Stuyvesant. He'll catch it at his 41-yard line on a dead run. Gets way into Burrell territory. As we have a flag on play, he's forced out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. As Krauscher stayed away from Vinnie Clark, as last time Burrell punted, Clark had a 49-yard punt return all the way down to the Burrell 5-yard line, and Freeport, so we'll see what this penalty is. Depending on the penalty, looks like they might have another drive starting in Burrell territory.
We'll take a look here with our referee, see what the call is.
Mitch Basushin will make the call, our referee tonight. Personal foul against Freeport. Freeport will keep the ball, but it'll likely back them up onto their own side of the field after starting at the 5-yard line on Freeport's last drive. That ended in a Garrett King rushing touchdown. And the officials will put the ball at the Freeport 45-yard line. 3 seconds remain in the third quarter. Lane, the quarterback, Jack, running back, they go trips to the near side of the field. Lane with an option, pitches it back to Jack. He'll gain about 2 yards on the play. Brothers made the tackle for Burrell as we are at the end of the third quarter. Freeport 12 minutes away from clinching a playoff berth. We could take a quick break here as you're watching WPIAL football on the High Top Sports Network.
Shop and Save at Franklin Village is a family-owned, community-dedicated supermarket with a wide variety of quality food and friendly personnel to make your shopping experience easy. Stop by their award-winning butcher shop where you'll find the freshest cuts of USDA-inspected beef, pork, and poultry. Head to the bakery for the freshest bread and rolls, and don't forget to stop by the deli for an excellent selection of cold cuts, meats, cheeses, and prepared foods like their fantastic fried chicken. That's Shop and Save at Franklin Village.
Douglas Insurance Services, located in Sarver next to Freeport High School, is an independent insurance agency, which means they've made available some of their best companies for your online quick quotes. Douglas Insurance Services offers personal insurance coverages to their clients in Pennsylvania, including individual annuities, boat and watercraft, auto, condo, and flood insurance. Call them today at 1-800-722-9990. Douglas Insurance Services, a proud sponsor of Freeport Athletics.
Back at Burrell Buccaneers Stadium for the start of the fourth quarter. Shane Jack on that last play for Freeport was shaken up on the play, was able to get up and walk off the field on his own power. Zach Clark will now be the running back in the backfield for Lane as he gives it to Clark, and he has a big haul up in Burrell territory. He gets inside the 30, and he will go into the end zone untouched for a Freeport touchdown. That'll be a 53-yard rushing touchdown by Zach Clark as Freeport opens up the fourth quarter with a bang. Now they're up 41-9.
Well, the 6th ball carrier of the night for Freeport might gonna see some of the depth chart ahead of the playoffs.
Zach Clark, his second rushing touchdown of the season.
How about a 53-yarder?
Yeah, now Vinnie Clark on to attempt the extra point. As he's pretty much untouched going into the end zone. Vinnie Clark's extra point is up and is good. First play for Freeport in the fourth quarter. They score a touchdown as they now lead 42-9. 11:47 left in the last stanza.
So right now, everything stands as is. Freeport will spoil Burrell's homecoming, punch their ticket to the playoffs. When you talk about playoffs, splitting the homecoming is all good because it's a big conference matchup tonight.
Yeah, and these two teams with the conference realignments throughout the years, they used to be in the Allegheny Conference in Double-A, and both these teams moved up to 3A, and they've been in the same conference for as long as I can remember, going all the way back to 2004, and Freeport leads the series 24-15, and they've won 8 of the last 10 matchups in this game. Vinnie Clark back deep.
Vinnie Clark beats it up again.
Back to kick, and looks like it's Beatty and Floyd to receive the kick for Jones and Beatty back for Burrell. Another deep kick taken by Jones out about the 10-yard line. He has a good hole, stays on his feet, and he gets down at the 45-yard line. Great play by Mason Jones. Good return, gives Burrell excellent field position.
Well, we talked a little bit about Mason Jones in the last drive by Burrell. Hadn't heard much from him all night, but he ran 5 times for 14 yards.
Brady Pega made the tackle for Freeport. Yeah, Mason Jones, as you mentioned, he got his first carries of the game on Burrell's last drive.
Ball to 45, first and 10.
Fenner, under center quarterback for the Bucks. He gives it to DiCaprio, but he's being met pretty much right at the line of scrimmage. He's able to fall forward for 2 yards, though. Andrew Sullivan, we've been calling his name a lot, made the tackle along with Sellinger. Gain of 2 yards to the 47-yard line, bring up second down and 8.
$78 yards on 20 rushes for DiCaprio on the night. Closing in on 800 yards this season. He came into the game with 706.
Looked like Gavin Beatty came off the field, though. Fenner under center. We have a flag. See who this penalty's against. Offsides against Freeport. Make it a 5-yard penalty. Will make it second down and 3. Now we have another injury. We have a Burrell player down. 10:53 left in the fourth quarter. Freeport has been very efficient as they have put the ball in the end zone every time they've had it on this drive.
Yes, and now we'll see that 5-yard penalty. A nice boost. So Burrell, they got second and short. Maybe able to get a quick first down and then have something to build off of here in the fourth quarter.
Connor Wojcik goes off the field for Burrell.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's still a chance. Burrell still has a chance at postseason play.
They
do. Still 2 more games left in the conference. But they become must wins at this point.
Yeah, especially with East Allegheny up with 1 conference win, Burrell with 1 conference win, and gives to DiCaprio, and he'll be around the lead sticks at the Freeport 45-yard line.
We've got a yard or 2 more. It's right there.
And the official signals first down for Burrell.
So 3 yards, 81 now for DiCaprio on 21 carries.
And DiCaprio, the lone touchdown for this Burrell offense. He has 10 touchdowns on the season.
And Adam, that extra point was wide to the left. The other 3 points came off a 30-yard field goal.
Now it looks like Beatty's the quarterback under center, and that play did not work at all. Gavin Corney was in on the backfield to make the tackle, as well as at the 44. He's down at the 48, loss of 4 yards. Make it a 2nd down and 14.
I saw Bear Freeman's helmet pop off. He'll have to head to the sidelines for a play. In his place will be Zachary Kloss coming out for Bear. 9.5 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Clock will run fast with both teams running the ball.
Looks like there's a penalty on playing. The Burrell offense is backing up.
We'll take a look here at our official to see if he calls.
Illegal block against Burrell.
That's our head referee tonight. The funny story, before the game started, I went down, I got a chance to talk to him. He made the joke, he said, are you going to mess my name up tonight? I took a look, I said, you're going to have to tell me how to say that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, pretty nice guys, all of our officials tonight. It's always great to have a chance to chat with them.
Ball's all the way back in Burrell territory at the 40-yard line. Original line of scrimmage is the Freeport 45-yard line. So 1st down and 25 to give us to DiCaprio. Up the middle. He's brought down at about the 43-yard line. Tackled by Andrew Sullivan. All gain of 3 yards. Bring up a 2nd down and 22. Looks like Beatty is in at quarterback. Trying to spot Fenner on the sideline. Looks like Beatty is under center, though, for Burrell. Beatty gives it to DiCaprio. Not much going there as he's stood up right at the line of scrimmage by Sean Sellinger. And looks like Bear Freeman also. And will be loss of about, actually call it no gain on the play, bring up a 3rd down and 22. 8:19 left here in the 4th quarter.
You might have heard the student section all in pink tonight, manning the ship here at Burrell Stadium, staying strong to cheer on the Buccaneers.
Beatty, the quarterback under center, as he gives it to the 2nd man. That's Jones. Gets brought down at the 45-yard line, nowhere near the 1st down. Sullivan in on the tackle. We even called his name a lot. It'll be 4th down and 22 for the Bucs.
Well, this Freeport defense has been nothing but a wall all night. We talked about the defenses. Burrell showed some signs early, forcing 2 turnovers against Freeport's offense, but now Freeport's defense providing a story, though, brick wall here against Burrell.
Krauscher back to punt. It's a high punt. Not sure if someone got a finger on
There
it.
was a few Yellowjackets in the area.
As the ball will be down at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Brady Sullivan was pretty close to Krauscher.
The Freeport with a commanding 42-9 lead with 7:10 remaining here in the fourth quarter takes over as they are 3 for 3 on scoring drives. Last time they were out, Zach Clark had a 53-yard rushing touchdown. At 6 touchdowns, all of those touchdowns on the ground for the Yellowjackets.
Now, I'd imagine here a few first downs, and Freeport will try to get out of here as quickly as possible, but there's no chance for injury.
As coach for Burrell, Sean Lyota, calls a timeout, and we have a new quarterback on the field for Freeport. That is 5'10" junior Gavin Croney in at quarterback.
I've got a final score from the Knock game, looking across our High Top Sports Network coverage. The Knock Knights fell to Plum 39-0 tonight. Knock in that crucial conference with Armstrong we've been following. Armstrong were also trailed at the half.
Enter the third quarter, Allegheny 7 conference action. North Catholic leads Deer Lakes 35-0, so North Catholic is on track to go to 5-0 in conference play. And Freeport's on track to be undefeated in conference play heading into that game against North Catholic next week. That will most likely be the de facto conference championship game. But Cronian at quarterback for the Yellowjackets.
Number 4, Gavin Croney, the new quarterback.
He's in the gun, go 4 wide. High snap, goes behind Cronies. He's able to dive on it at the 16-yard line.
A tough miscue there, especially when you're trying to work the time off the clock. Be about 2nd and 20-something, less than 25. Have to wait till the ball is spotted as it's a timeout on the field.
I believe it's a 2nd and 24, but again, I was no math major in college. Injured Yellowjacket, or 2nd and 22, 2 yards off on that.
So the loss of 12.
At the 17-yard line.
Interestingly, it went to Crony instead of going back to King, the quarterback. Garrett King started out the season as a starting quarterback, but Ben Lane took over. King was 17 for 40 with 223 passing yards and 2 touchdowns to start the season. And Ben Lane has come in and took over and proved to be a lethal double threat for the Yellowjackets.
Josh Heckman's able to walk off the field on his own power for Freeport. As now the Freeport student section with the "I believe that we will win" chant. I believe it's a blackout for their student section, but Crony in the gun for Freeport. The snap and the handoff is to Giovanni Fout as he breaks a tackle and trucks over a man. Will be about a loss of 2 on the play. Bring up a 3rd down and 24.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Adam, the Freeport blackout student section. A lot of pink in the stands for Burrell. A lot of different themes. You might have mentioned, you might have noticed Burrell's uniform's a little different. That's thanks to the PA Army National Guard and all they do, supporting the military members.
Yeah, we thank them for that. Ball's now at the 14-yard line, actually. Crony, the quarterback, in relief for Ben Lane. High snap over his head in the end zone. He's trying to avoid the safety. He fumbles it. And thankfully for Freeport, he's able to get out of the end zone to avoid the safety. And he fumbled it again and picked it up and avoided complete disaster. So Freeport goes 3 and out will be brought down on about the 1 yard line.
A tough break there for Freeport on that drive. 2 of their 3 plays, they snap one over the head of the quarterback. And then a third fumble. Luckily, none of those went sour for Freeport.
Bring up a 4th down and all the way to Sarver, I'll just put it. Vinnie Clark on the back of his own end zone to punt. Jones back to receive it. Line drive punt. Jones gets it at his 35-yard line. He's brought down at 25-yard line. Good coverage by Freeport special teams. Zach Clark made the tackle. And Pega also. First down, though, for Burrell with a chance to get on the scoreboard.
About 5 minutes remaining.
They haven't scored since the first quarter as we're down within 5 minutes. We'll see if we see the starters head back out on the field for Burrell or not.
4:57 left, to be exact, in the game. Trying to see who the Burrell quarterback is.
I believe I see DiCaprio on the sideline.
Burrell calls a timeout. Their second. 1 left. 1 timeout left.
Yeah, DiCaprio out on the sideline. It'll likely be the end of the night for him.
Yeah, DiCaprio with the lone rushing touchdown for Burrell in this game.
He will finish the night, Adam, with 23 rushes for 84 yards. Of course, that one touchdown is long, being 26 yards back in the first quarter. Well, that was on that drive that got him that lone rushing touchdown for Burrell.
Yeah, and DiCaprio had a big run that set up Burrell's 30-yard field goal by Ethan Krauscher. Now Burrell in good position to score here at the Freeport 25-yard line.
Get a good look at the depth chart.
O.C. Beatty on the sideline for Burrell, along with the homecoming king, Gavin Thompson. These numbers are hard to see, so trying to see who the quarterback is for Burrell under center. McGive is to Mason Jones. New quarterback for Burrell is 5'8" freshman Stephen Hassan. Be a gain of 1, make it 2nd down and 9.
15 yards on 7 carries for Mason Jones.
Jones getting all his carries here in the second half. Ball at the Freeport 24-yard line. Hassan under center. Gives it to Jones, but he's brought down immediately by multiple Freeport defenders on the play. Be a loss of a couple. Josh Heckman made the tackle for Freeport.
Call it a loss of 2. So now 13 yards for Jones on the night.
Bring up a 3rd down and 11 for Burrell at the Freeport 26-yard line. 3:50 left in the 4th quarter. Hassan, the quarterback, in relief of Fenner.
Another timeout on the Burrell sideline.
Timeout for Burrell, I believe their last timeout of the game. As stay tuned for after the game, as we will have coverage of the Burrell Buccaneers marching band with homecoming festivities. The Freeport band played, then the homecoming ceremony. So the Burrell band got shifted to after the game, so we will have coverage that for you. Once again, homecoming queen, Hannah Novak, the homecoming king. Football player Gavin Thompson is also starting guard on this Burrell team, so starting center, excuse me. So congrats to them. Bring up a 3rd down and 11 for Burrell. Passing the quarterback. Gets a pitch, but Freeport's all over it. It's brought down at the 30-yard line. That's Mason Jones. But delivering the booms, Isaac Woods for Freeport, bring up a loss of 4 to make it a 4th down and 15. And Burrell, they're just going to go for it here. At the 30-yard line, what do you have to lose at this point if you're Burrell?
Well, you get game experience for your younger guys. That's the best way to get better is if you play against other guys, against another team.
Play clock down to 2 as Burrell's just able to get off the snap. Run, looks like that is Malik Buckcheck. He can be short of the 1st down, however. As Freeport will take over on downs. 2:46 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Ball is at the Freeport 32-yard line.
Well, after this, Freeport will advance for
27-yard line, excuse me.
Freeport will improve to 4-3-0 within the conference, while Burrell will fall to 1-7, 1-3 in the conference. Allegheny 7 conference, I should mention.
Croney, the quarterback, Brady Sullivan, the running back next to him. Not high snap, but Sullivan's able to get the carry. He trucks a man, gets you about the 29-yard line for a gain of 2. Good hard running by him. Make it 2nd down and 8.
Looking ahead to next week, Freeport will travel to Derry area. That Burrell will travel to Derry area high school. While the Yellowjackets, huge game, as we mentioned, possibly this Allegheny 7 conference championship will be against North Catholic. The Yellowjackets will host that game.
Yeah, last I checked, North Catholic was beating Deer Lakes 35-0. So barring any unforeseen circumstances, North Catholic will probably hold on to win that game. And yeah, as you said, Freeport and North Catholic will both go into that game unbeaten, as Freeport played North Catholic last year in the last game of the season. North Catholic did win that game, and that was pretty much for the conference championship as well, as North Catholic was unbeaten in conference play. Freeport came into that game unbeaten, so same situation there for Freeport. Unfortunately, High Top Sports Network won't have coverage of that game for you, so the next time you'll get to see Freeport on the High Top Sports Network will be the last game of the regular season on October 29th, as Freeport will travel to Deer Lakes for a 7 o'clock game, as Deer Lakes is on their way to dropping to 3-2 in conference play, but that'll still have them in 3rd place after today with Burrell, 2:32 left. They'll drop to 1-3 in conference play. But yeah, that pretty much sets the scene for Freeport and North Catholic. And ever since Freeport and North Catholic have joined conference, Freeport, they've had some pretty close battles, but Freeport has come up short every time against North Catholic. So Freeport looking to buck that trend next week. As a quick scoring recap in this game, Ben Lane had 3 rushing touchdowns from 5 yards, 6 yards, and 7 yards. Garrett King had a 5-yard rushing touchdown, his first rushing touchdown of the season. Ben Lane has 8 rushing touchdowns on the season. And Zach Clark picked up his second rushing touchdown of the season, a 53-yard scamper. And Shane Jack picked up his first rushing touchdown of the season with a 2-yard rushing touchdown. For Burrell, Ethan Krauscher had a 30-yard field goal, and Caden DiCaprio with the lone Burrell touchdown for 2 yards, his 10th touchdown of the season. But Freeport has it. We resume play here, 2nd and 8 At the 30-yard line, Croney in at quarterback for the Yellowjackets. Sullivan the sidecar to his left. Croney now gives it to Sullivan. He goes up the middle. He has a hole, and he will have first down yardage at the Freeport 39-yard line.
Well, that should about do it. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, and start to kneel this one out. Ben Lane ends the night 8 rushes for 77 yards, 3 touchdowns. Shane Jack ran the ball 11 times, 44 yards, and the 1 touchdown that you mentioned. 4 passes completed by Ben Lane tonight for 59 yards.
Give is to Sullivan once again. He has a big hole into Burrell territory inside the 30. He barrels down at the Burrell 24-yard line. Great run by Brady Sullivan. Stephen Hassan made the tackle for Burrell. 1:29 left in the fourth quarter. And you think that'll likely go to victory formation for Burrell. 28-yard line. I don't know why I said the 24, getting my yard markers messed up. It's Croney in the gun. As Croney keeps it, he gets up past the 20, cuts back at the 15, 10, 5, and it'll be brought down. First and goal, but there is a flag in the backfield. We'll see what the penalty is.
The offense.
So we'll negate that long run. 53 seconds left here in the fourth quarter.
Thank you very much.
Zell back to ball up to the Burrell 36-yard line.
It's maybe now we'll see the victory formation. I'll go ahead and look at some of the Burrell stats as we start to conclude this game.
Play clock down to 12, 39 seconds left. Croney, the quarterback. He gives it to Sullivan, and he makes the man miss, gets up past the 30-yard line. Joey Green, he made the tackle for Burrell with 20 seconds left. And looks like that'll be the last play of the ball game. Final score here from Burrell Buccaneer Stadium: Freeport 42, Burrell 9. And waiting for the clock to officially hit 0. It's official for the 31st time in school history. Freeport has clinched a spot in the WPIAL playoffs as Freeport improves to 5-3 overall with a 3-0 conference record, setting up that matchup with North Catholic, who will go into that game 5-0 in conference, 8-0 overall. But that one will be for all the marbles next week at Freeport Area Athletic Stadium at 7 o'clock. Next week, Burrell will be on the road at Derry at 7 o'clock, and they will have their last home game back here. Big rivalry game for Burrell in 2 weeks against Valley. But once again, Freeport victorious over Burrell 42-9, has clinched a playoff berth for the 31st time in school history as they are celebrating with the cheerleaders, Freeport band in the student section. Just a great scene overall to see. And Mason, really what attributed the Freeport victory, all their touchdowns came on the ground.
Yes, and that eats up the clock as well. I mean, you've got an explosive weapon like Ben Lane who can do just about anything for a team. He really shows why they get to celebrate right now as they are. I want to recap just a little bit of the Burrell stats before we head into a break here. Caden DiCaprio, 23 rushes, 84 yards, and the lone touchdown. That extra point was wide left. And, of course, a 30-yard field goal from Ethan Krauscher. Couple passes completed by quarterback Chase Bennett on the night for a total of 7 yards.
Final score, another hot top game. Kiski defeats Shaler 42-27 and their 2-game losing streak to pick up their first conference win of the season. As now, stay tuned as we will have a brief post game after you hear from the Burrell Band.
It's playing out there, right?
Welcome everyone to the 2021 Burrell Buccaneer Marching Band Halftime Show. The Burrell Buccaneer Marching Band's 2021 production is Meadows Fragments, a story of friends torn apart by war and sight, working desperately to get back together and heal the world around them. Our show Fragments will feature original music by Joshua Leda. The Burrell Buccaneer Marching Band is proud to present co-adjunct captains Katie Armstrong and Henry Armstrong, and drum majors Emily Marchlinsky and Gavin McNally, and the Burrell Buccaneer Marching Band.
Pirates won 41-27.
Wow.
So I'll go on and say this final scores, and I'll just ask for your final.
But I could do a final stat rundown if we need.
Nah, I won't even do
I
that.
said it at the end of the game.
What's that?
I ran down the stats at the end of the game.
Yeah, I said I wouldn't do that now. But I'll just ask for like your overall observations, and we can end it.
Wrap up, get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal my bag now. One last thing to deal with.
Astros up 3-1. We like to see that. No, Red Sox up 3-1. We like to see that. Yes. Should I report that score too? I won't.
I don't like the Astros. What they did was wrong.
I just hope it's not Astros Dodgers in the World Series.
I don't want the Astros at the World Series. Because I don't know. That's why. They're now 27.
At the beginning of the season, like, there was a baseball show we do it on our radio, and I'm like, you know what, just to be different, why not? I picked the Braves to win the World Series. So we'll see if that happens. I mean, I don't think they're going to beat the Dodgers, but
The Braves are a really good team. Like, they don't have, like, they have that really good team.
yeah.
They're not a team you look at and you say, they're going to win a World Series.
Yeah, like, I mean, I wasn't, because I think early August, it was between the Phillies and Mets for the NL East, so they just gone on a good run.
I mean, it's the same way as I look at the Rays, you know?
Yeah.
Way better than the Braves. I look at them and I'm like, is this a World Series winning team?
They almost, who knows, they would have won, I think they would have won that Game 6 if they kept Blake Snell and
Yeah, they traded them away. Why did they trade Blake Snell?
it worked for them though. They really didn't lose much without him. But yeah, like when Acuna went down, I thought that was it for
Acuna went down, they lost his Zona because he was a criminal.
So Turner Field was actually one of the major league stadiums I've been to.
Yeah.
I went there in 2012 for Chipper Jones bobblehead night. It was the year he retired. So every time he came up, he had his brother standing ovation shit. We got his bobblehead and he hit 2 home runs. That was a good game to be at. We were first row down the first baseline. Our cousin hooked us up. I've been to Turner Field for Braves Padres. I was at Coors Field. I saw the Pirates beat the Rockies in 2018. And then this past summer, early August, I went to Cincinnati to see the Pirates get shellacked 2 games there. They lost 10-0 and 11-3.
I got to go to the last game of the season. When they were Queen City's first come run,
Really?
Yeah.
Because 2 weeks before that against the Reds, I almost got a Castellanos home run. It landed a road in front of me. My buddy was closer to me a long arm, so he would have got it. But I didn't have a glove.
It might have been the other game I went to, because I went to one of the teams before that, some buddies from school. A couple of them did not behave properly.
The award-winning Burrell Buccaneer Marching Band is under the direction of Mr. Michael Paganotta, assisted by Paul Yater, along with staff members Bobby Johnson, Michael Mancini, Alex Taxabellis, Olivia Rogers, and James Marquet. The Burrell Buccaneer Marching Band would like to thank the Burrell band parents, administrators, and school board members for their continued support of the arts at Burrell. Ladies and gentlemen, the Burrell Buccaneer Marching Band.
There you have it, the Burrell Band coming out on homecoming as Freeport spoils Burrell's homecoming. 42-9 win over the Buccaneers.
Yeah, great job by the Burrell Buccaneers marching band as there was homecoming festivities. They played after the game. Once again, Freeport clinched a playoff spot for the 31st time in school history. Some other final scores, so Freeport, we kind of previewed it a little bit. Freeport plays North Catholic next week as North Catholic beat Deer Lakes 35-0, moved 5-0 in conference play. Freeport 3-0, so that pretty much sets up the conference, de facto conference championship game next week.
Yeah, all the congratulations in the world to Freeport. What a season they've had. A tough non-conference schedule, adjusting to having your starting quarterback back, and you had Ben Lane adjusting back to being a running back, and then turns out Lane is actually a better choice for the quarterback position. It seems like, just looking at some of the stats. What a double threat he was today. 8 rushes, 77 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he completed 3 passes for 50-some yards. It just goes to show.
Another final score, one of the games you've seen on High Top Sports Network. Highlands defeated Armstrong 41-27. Armstrong was able to make a game out of it. Armstrong drops to 3-2 in conference play. Highlands improves to 2-3 in conference play. But before we wrap up, Mason, here, what are some, just your overall observation why Freeport was able to come out of Burrell High School with a dominant victory?
Well, I'll give you the honest reaction here. They came out of the locker room, and they just smoked them. You come out, you get that, you hold the ball for a good amount of time before Freeport didn't get the score before the end of the first half. But they held the ball for a good amount of time. That keeps the defense on the field. They're getting tired. They get to sit down for 10, 15 minutes. They come back out. They run the ball again. Another 5 minutes. The defense gets winded. There's nothing you can really do.
Yeah, and Freeport pretty much scored on all their drives.
All but the last drive they scored.
Yeah, and that's when they scored on all their drives when they had their starters out in the second half to put this game away. But yeah, once again, Freeport, North Catholic, the scene, Freeport Area Athletic Stadium next week for pretty much the conference championship right there. But that'll do it for our coverage of WPIAL football here on the High Top Sports Network, as Freeport victorious over Burrell 42-9, as Freeport punches its ticket to the WPIAL playoffs. For Mason Flanagan, I'm Adam Morganti. Thank you for tuning in to the High Top Sports Network, and have a good night, everybody.